All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last step in our drafting, hand drafting portfolio session will be what we call our isometric pictorial sketch. Now, we've done some practice here in class to get you prepared for this. So this should go pretty smoothly now that we've done the practice cube and a practice thumbnail vote. But let's dive in here to now our half scale. So you want to have handy with you to look off of your half scale orthographic drawing that you did with your dimensions and extension lines so that you can use that as your guide. And again, this is very similar to what we've been doing. It's all about counting the grid blocks to help keep you on track. So starting at the front, we can see that we have a center line already started here for us, just very lightly, and I'm not going to bring it the whole way through because that wouldn't be something you would traditionally see in a pictorial drawing. So I'm going to start in the center, however, and I'm going to use that little guide as my starting point. The construction lines that are already here for you, unfortunately, we can't erase them, but I have found that it's easiest for me to leave them there for you to help guide you. So starting at the beginning, this is my front point, same as my center point on my orthographic. So I come out 2 blocks on that one. So I'm coming out 2 blocks to the right and 2 blocks to the left. Now on my drawing, in my other orthographic drawing, I'm coming down at an angle, this like curve, 2 blocks from this endpoint coming down. So if I start here and I count down 1, 2, I'm going to put a little dot there. I'm going to be drawing a curve to there, and then I do the same thing on the other side, 1, 2. So a lot of times I tell my students it's kind of like connect the dots. You're going to connect from one point to another. Now I come down 6 blocks. So from this edge, I'm going to measure down 6. And same thing on this side. And if we look across here at this angled line, these 2 points should match up. So I come down 2 and in 1, and down 2 and in 1. Same thing on this side. So as long as you can count the lines on your grid paper, this makes it pretty easy. And sometimes it does look a little off. This line's off here. I need to redo that one. And then I come back on this side, and I come back this side, and then I come into make sure I'm lining this up right. All right, almost done again. So into, across 4. So I'm just looking off of my half scale sketch, and there's my top view. Again, we're looking at this on the side. If I was holding this next to it, that's the same object, just from here to here. So now it's drawn at a different perspective. Now I still have to add my interior, so the cutout that will hold my battery pack. And again, this is just at an angled perspective. Now on the inside, my boat comes down 1 block according to this. Now, just like we did in the practice, we can see that we have these rhombuses or diamonds. When we are trying to draw the side view, we go straight through that area. It's almost like cutting the diamond in half. So don't forget, it's all about cutting those diamonds. Oops, I brought it back way too far. There we go. And then my top. Now I can't see, visually looking at this, I won't see this side on the interior, and I won't see the back from this perspective coming from this direction. So I will be able to see the front edge of my cutout and the left side of my cutout, but I won't see the other 2 edges. Now to do the side portion, again, we're taking anywhere 2 lines meet. Starting at the front, 2 lines meet here. I look at those rhombuses and I cut down straight through those. Come here, 2 lines meet, cut straight through. Come back, 2 lines meet. Now I'm only coming down 2 blocks or 2 rhombuses. I will not go more than that because my boat in no area it will ever be taller than 1 inch. And on here, 2 blocks is 1 inch. So I only ever come down 2 blocks, or in this case, 2 rhombuses. 2, 2, following my lines all the way around, 2, and 2. And back there I won't see that edge. So it's kind of like when we did our cube, these are like adding the legs on a table. So I was adding the legs. Now the next part is any line that's along the top edge that I already drew, there will be an identical line underneath it, 2 blocks down. So if this is a straight line going back, right here I have a straight line coming back. This line is angled in 2 blocks and back 1. It's going to be angled 2 blocks and back 1. This one's angled out 2 blocks, coming out 1. Same thing here. So whatever's along the top, whatever you see along the top is the identical along the bottom. So if this one's going straight and it's in 1 block from here, I'm going to come in 1 block and straight across. Now the final thing I need to do is shade to make this look more realistic. So if the sun, we talked about this when we did our practice, the sun or our light source is coming from this direction. The brightest surface will obviously be the top, and the darkest surface would be the back. So when we shade, we make sure we go through and add our darkest areas to the back, and I'm sure that our art department covers this and probably does it in greater detail than what I'm going to go through with you ladies and gentlemen, and they can talk about different gradients of shading. Now as we work up on our sides, we will make it a little bit less as we go through. Another trick is you can always smudge your lead from your pencil with your finger if you dampen it a little bit. So any area that's furthest from our front will be darker, furthest from our light source, and any area that's on the side will be dark, but not quite as dark, so it's still like a light grayish color. And again, this area will be the darkest. The sun is not shining on this area. And then our side is going to be a little bit lighter. Now I do suggest you lightly shade, I mean very lightly shade your interior, just to show that it's a different surface than the top of our boat, just so that we can see that it's a little bit different. And then you can go back through, and if you didn't feel like you didn't shade enough in certain spots, you can add more. And like I said, you can smear some of your shading to make it look a little bit more smooth. Okay, and that is completing our isometric pictorial sketch. Please don't forget you need to fill out the title block with the name of your boat, your name, section, scale, and date. And all of that should be included.